Jerry thinks he's the hair expert now.
He is. Jerry, you got great hair. You should own that role.
Amazing.
On the Final Hour
I'll never
podcast,
forget that. I got
Jerry.
on the bus. What are you looking at? It was right off the site. What are you laughing at, Jerry? He's like, you look like Albert Einstein. And I thought, because it does have that effect where it stays like that too, doesn't it?
It does. It was because it was drier than your hair was used to, so it automatically.
Yeah, it was dry. I had poofy, and not as bad
Yeah.
as Jim's, but
Oh, I was poofy too.
Well,
your haircut.
we know I'm getting the haircut next year before.
Okay.
Just a little bit of product.
I know. What? Why don't you put product in your
Just
hair?
a little bit.
You could use some of
That
that
one
olive
was
oil
so
face serum that's
strong,
on
it
your
would
face right
not
now. You
have
could just
kept
brush
the
like
hair
it's
down.
you're glistening.
It would not have kept the hair down. The wind was...
Jim,
instead of
products.
Just a little. Just a little olive oil.
Just rub this stuff on your face and your
anoint
hair.
We'll find a 20-mile-an-hour wind day. Bring in any product you want,
No,
and I'll
I
walk out there
understand.
and let's see if it
Anoint
holds
your
my hair.
anoint your crown.
Let's see if it holds my hair.
Anoint the crown
Is
of
this
your
being
head.
taped?
Only a little bit.
Ross Geller. Ross Geller.
You got to get this, Jerry. If you're taping this, we gotta open with this.
With
right?
Jim attacking us because he doesn't put product in his hair.
All right.
You blow dry your hair, but you won't use products.
Yeah, that's a different kind of.
I repeat. Bring in
No,
any
I'm not talking about
product
on
you
a
want.
20-mile-per-hour day.
Bring in grease from a car.
Well, you don't.
And we'll
that
go out in the
wouldn't do
parking
anything.
lot
That'd
and
be greasy.
see
You
if
need
it
paste.
holds it.
You need paste.
There's nothing that'll hold it. Nothing.
Let
will
me
hold
tell
it
you, my nephew, as
against
a little
25
baby,
mile an hour
he had a
winds.
spike hairdo that he used this paste from Target, and
You don't
that
remember
dude's hair
in
wouldn't
Syrian
move.
border?
my
we
hair
were
would be
doing
poofy if I.
No, I'm not
didn't
saying.
use.
I don't know why you're attacking me over 20-mile-an-hour winds. That's not what I'm saying.
I'm saying
just in general,
it
a little
doesn't
product in your hair would go a long way.
It looks fine when I don't have product. If the wind's not blowing.
Perfect.
Okay. Have you ever heard the dry look?
Yes.
Okay. Anyways, with that, from like the 70s, I think you have to special order.
Remember
it.
Aussie hairspray?
The
They used to
hairspray.
give that away at Living
yeah.
Word back in the day. It'd be like
It's
in
got
buckets.
this sweet guy in the front.
Yeah.
It
That's
just
what you
says
think you look like?
The dry look. All right.
It's wonderful.
How many espresso shots have you had?
2. Welcome to the Final Hour podcast. Coming to you from the original Living Word Christian Center out of Minneapolis, Minnesota. My name is Jim Hammond.
I'm Linnea Farrell.
John Gap.
I'm GD.
So,
Hey. The Olympics just happened.
Yeah.
What a phenomenal Olympics.
What a close
What a
to the
close.
Olympics.
and we finished second in gold medals.
And listen, Minnesota it was the state with the most Olympic medals, 13.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I'm still embarrassed by the state. But
Sure.
Great.
But
We got some
listen,
hockey
there's
players.
You know-
there's some amazing people in Minnesota.
Right.
They're not all lefties. They're not all blue-haired weirdos.
No, just a few.
Just a few, but most of them weren't at the Olympics
Did I
because that
tell you
takes a
guys?
lot of work to be
One-
Still,
you guys.
to get to the Olympics.
When you're even in Israel, we were saying, people say, where are you from? Minnesota? Even there.
yeah, they were
you
like,
kinda
ooh.
gotta-
They were
yeah,
like, ooh.
you kind of got to
Minneapolis?
look.
Ooh.
Remember the Catholic priest
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was like, ooh, Minneapolis, huh?
got on the bus? And I said, yeah, but we're not the people on TV. Right?
No, we're not.
Okay.
Well, I mean,
One-
sometimes, but
I did an experiment in
purpose.
high school, and I did color my hair blue for like 2 days, and
Yeah.
I was treated like
a pariah.
so rude. People were so rude to me.
Also,
Well, that
I
was-
mean,
that was the 90s.
And I had a
You-
pretend nose ring.
and
That was
you
the
were
90s.
you were going to a school where your school
no, I
colors
didn't
are
wear it
red
at
and
Maranatha.
Oh.
You weren't allowed to do that. It was just on the weekend. It was just an experiment.
weekend.
Could have done it Spirit Week. Could have dyed your hair blue.
Yeah, I could have on
Hayden
Spirit
did.
Week.
Okay. So we've got a lot going on. Congrats to the U.S. Olympics hockey team.
USA. Hey, they're going to be at the State of the Union tonight with
I know
Donald Trump.
the hockey boys. They're like, yeah,
Do
we'll
you
go with the
not
president.
love the hockey boys? Gosh, I love the hockey
But
boys.
the hockey
were-
girls.
They're
they
not
also-
going. They're not going.
know.
What does that tell you? But we won't judge that. So
Dun, dun.
quickly, for those of you that were on the Israel tour, we are taking another one in 2027.
Oh.
The last 2 weeks of February. But you cannot.
Unconfirmed yet.
You can.
Unconfirmed.
We don't
It's-
have those dates yet, so don't write in.
It's loose in
We'll do
wet sand, as
we'll
they
do
say.
different
wet
sites.
cement. Wet cement.
Different sites. 4 or 5 different sites than we did this year. But last year we started on February 3rd. We started at the Jaffa Gate, historical port. So much history there.
Yeah.
We visited the October 7th Memorial in Tel Aviv. And that was kind of it because everyone had flown in, had just gotten in from their planes. Next
Or
day,
not got in from their
Caesarea.
There were some things.
Yes.
Caesarea. Herod built Caesarea, another port. You guys can just chime in.
Yeah, we did a short podcast from there.
Yes. You can see that where we were, where Paul was basically, I think,
The beginning.
fighting for his life.
Yes.
In a sense.
Boy, he was pretty
On
smart
trial,
with the legal stuff.
Yes. From there, we went to Mount Carmel. That's where Elijah and the Baal prophets, but so many more things you could see. You could see Mount Tabor, where Deborah used herself as bait, and Judges. From there, you can see Megiddo Valley.
You can see the overlook of the olive trees that everybody planted back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then that day 2, we went to Megiddo National Park, where the Battle of Armageddon, where those armies will mass. Okay.
Yeah.
They'll mass in Megiddo. If you read Zechariah, they go from Megiddo into Jerusalem. Probably half of Jerusalem falls in Armageddon. All right. So, but Megiddo is where those armies mass. The 2 hotels, Daniel, Herzliya.
The
Herzliya Hotel.
Yeah.
The first night, I believe, second night, Magdala Hotel. A couple nights, we moved up north to the Galilee.
That's great because that hotel is right on the Galilee. You can walk out the back and there's really cool
Touch the water.
fountains, and then you go by this really cool chapel, and then go past that, and you're at the Galilee. You're
right there?
It's right there.
Day 3, we were at Mitzgavam on the Lebanese border.
That was cool.
Yeah.
It used to
amazing.
be where you could spot terrorists, but
Wow.
This is a very strategic place, very important place, very powerful place on top of that little mountain.
Was that the place that you went with John Hagee that one time? Was Mitzgavam where you guys did that, or was that a different place?
No. I don't even know where that was. Well, it was around the Alma Center.
Okay.
I know that.
Okay. Yeah.
But wow, and so Mitzgavam, which is strategic holding on the Lebanese border. We went to Caesarea Philippi, which is a pagan stronghold.
That's where the Pan of God.
Pan and the god Pan.
The
gates
God
of hell.
Pan.
And
the
Jesus
gates of hell will
stood
not
and
prevail.
told
Yeah.
Peter,
Yeah.
the gates of hell will not prevail against you. This huge cave, water used to be coming out of the cave like a waterfall of water, and the pagans believed it was the gates of hell, in essence.
Probably what is.
And I think that's interesting. Right before Jesus died, he took the disciples on a 3-day journey
he
there
said,
just to tell them,
"Look,
the gates of hell will not prevail against you." We went and looked over the border into Syria. So twice on the 3rd day, we are,
Bordering,
day 3,
yeah.
we're on, in the Syrian border, looking on the Lebanese border. This isn't your average Christian tour. Then we went to an olive press.
Yeah,
Where
because
Jim
we
got
were
his facials.
all around the Golan Heights.
Yeah.
Yes,
that
we
day.
were.
in the Golan Heights. Dinner at the Magdala Hotel. Again, we're at Magdala. Then we went to Chorazim National Park. That is where Jesus cursed Chorazim. You can find that in the Bible. Mount of Beatitudes. This is day 4. We went to see Billy Brim's hotel that she's building, that Living Word gave $1 million to 20 years ago to get it built, called the Migdal Hotel. We ate the same fish for lunch that you eat out of the Galilee.
We talked about that on the
Jesus
podcast.
ate. We ate it. It's called Peter's primacy, the miracles of the loaves and fish. Jesus appeared to Peter after the resurrection. We were at that very spot, and it's interesting how you know that that's the very spot.
Oh, yeah.
We know that's the very spot that this situation happened. We were in Capernaum, what was believed to be Peter's house, at the Capernaum synagogue, what Jesus taught in, and we took a boat out on the Galilee for the sunset. What a big day for us.
It was so cool.
They were so
Such a good
exhausted
day.
at the end of that day.
Yeah.
Started the morning. We won't do this again. We'll do this at the end of the day with a baptism in the Jordan River. Next year, it'll be at the end of one of these days. Then we went to where Bet Shean National Park, King Saul,
Such a cool spot.
That's
his dead body was hung on the city wall.
I think it would be tough to find as big of an archaeological dig where like almost a complete city
You're right.
footprint
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
Because that place is massive.
Yes.
Such unbelievable
Lots of history.
architecture. Yeah.
So much history.
Right. They're trying to say the Jews were never there. And you'll laugh when after one of our tours. But we also we went to where they found the Dead Sea Scrolls at the Qumran National Park. From there we went to the Dead Sea Sea Resort. So we changed hotels
Cool.
that night.
That's the David.
Yeah, the David Dead Sea Resort. And so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is day 6 now we're into. And, the people that were on the tour wanted us to do this. So we're doing this for you here. We on day 5 or 6?
6.
6. We started out Masada. On top of Masada, where the Jews held out from the Romans at a mountain fortress that Herod built. But actually, if you study it out, I just found out last night the Jews started turning Masada into a fortress 700 years before Jesus.
Really?
It was already a fortress when Herod just perfected it.
Well, and he put his palace there, so he was like stockpiling.
We went to En-Gedi where Saul was being chased by David. We went to a place where everybody seemed to take a camel ride.
In a parking lot, so fun.
It is fun.
We had
You don't find a lot of camels in Minnesota.
We actually had a late lunch
At the
overlooking
zoo.
the city of Jerusalem. We drove into Jerusalem that day.
The city view.
We went to the Jerusalem souvenir store, which we'll never go to
Love
again. And
it.
a guy gave me, I'll bring the Jesus next week, but it was about $1,000. And
I don't know if it's
all
is
carved
it a
out of-
Jesus?
oh, it's $1,000.
It's
That's
a-
$1,000 Jesus.
I'm not.
It's
I had a hall at home. I know all about it.
It's pure olive wood.
You
It's
offered
a cool thing.
Oh my God, you are such
You
a
said,
baby.
do you want me to take it home?
just
I was like,
pitched
I
a
might
fit
leave this in
about
my
it.
hotel room. I
Yeah.
might give it away.
I don't know what to do with it. And then I ended up bringing that home and all of your sermons. I don't know how I had to pack it all. You brought it over there and you acted like you didn't have any room for
the
anything.
sermons.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had too many
What a
facial products
baby.
from the olive oil store. And so
The olive oil store is
yeah,
cool.
I spent $500 on facial products at the olive oil store.
I can
So
see it.
use
Your
some of that.
face is glistening.
I'm so dry right
just
now.
Just wipe your
I
hand
need
on
some of
Jim's
that.
face right now and rub it down.
we stayed in an amazing hotel in
not
Jerusalem
gonna do that.
called the Cassia Hotel. All right, so
That was my room at the Cassia. You go out in my room and Jeremiah's. You look out and you can see the old walls
Yeah, it's
of
amazing.
Jerusalem.
It's a
It is
beautiful view.
so cool. And like Guy says, that Jerusalem stone just lights up in the
It does.
at sunset.
It's amazing.
It's just like it's gorgeous.
day 7, we went to the Western Wall and the Temple Mount. That is a place in the world where there's more spiritual warfare
day.
than anywhere
It
else
is,
in the world.
for sure.
On top of the Temple Mount, the Golden Dome. If you pull up a pic of Jerusalem, you'll see a Golden Dome.
Yeah.
It's the second or third most holy place in the world for the Muslims. You'll see the Al-Aqsa Mosque, the Dome of the Rock, the City of David. That is David's palace that they have dug up and proved that it is David's palace. Pool of Siloam, the Western Wall, and the Southern Steps. That's what we did that
Such a
day.
big day. That was so huge.
Yes. So day 8, Holocaust Memorial. I've got the gates of the city mall.
That was
That's
just
like the
lunch.
Lions.
It was just lunch.
Okay.
I think maybe not.
Well, remember he
I
took-
couldn't,
Wasn't it
I couldn't remember what that was.
Wasn't it the Lionsgate and stuff like? When was that? The day before?
Gates of the City Mall was after
was
right after the Holocaust Memorial. Then we went to Bet Shemesh, where
Oh, we
there's
did go to
so much history. When the Israelis lost the Ark
Yeah.
from Shiloh, and they never got it back from Shiloh. They did get the Ark back 7 months later, but we tell a lot of those stories
Yeah.
over there. We were at Britannia Park where David and
I think
Goliath fought.
That's the Valley of Elah. Is that what it's
Yeah.
called?
We
Where
did a
the
video
actual
there.
valley,
Yeah.
and you can see where the Philistines were and the Israelites were. We stopped by the Aroma Coffee Shop and then went to
Great coffee.
Just
Cassia Hotel.
John's
again.
Google map just didn't falter in anything we did that day.
I believe this is day 9. We were on the outskirts of Bethlehem.
oh yeah.
We went to Hebron.
Migdal Eder is what guy was saying that Jacob.
We
had,
went to the
Migdal
area
Eder.
where they believe Jesus was born.
One of those Migdals probably was.
And we're going to give you a picture of what Jesus was born in.
Yeah.
Do we? That'd be great.
We do. We have
This
a
is what
picture.
he's born in. He
Jared's
wasn't
got
born
some-
in a stable.
Yeah.
Okay. And you only can find this out when you go to Israel. This is where they kept their animals.
Yeah.
For protection.
Yep.
And this is what was around Bethlehem at the time. There's still, a lot of them are still there, have been rebuilt.
Yeah.
We went to Hebron, the cave of the patriarchs, where Abraham, Sarah were buried, Jacob was buried, Leah was buried. It is believed that Adam and Eve were buried there. It's a very holy place.
Amazing.
Some crazy, I was anointed by this rabbi that there was a
wild.
circumcision at the burial spot where Abraham was buried. They're having a circumcision, and
What an
It was amazing.
cool place to have that
Yeah.
the bris at like that. That's amazing.
this dude had. I don't even look. Hebron is one of the holiest places, one of the most fought after places, fought over places, contested places, one of the most mentioned locations outside of Jerusalem in the Old Testament. As far as it's just amazing.
David
place.
started his
I
rule
love
there
Hebron.
Yeah.
in Hebron.
And then we saw the Catholic sites, that Church of the Holy Sepulchre, that we went to the upper room, back to the hotel, last day, Gethsemane, Garden Tomb, back to the hotel. And so that's what we did.
Gethsemane, Garden Tomb, and then we went
And
to
then-
the place where they say Jesus was tried in front of.
Oh
Yes.
yeah. That was
That-
Yes,
Oh,
and that's
Herod?
new.
That
That's
was-
that was new.
That was amazing.
Information.
And I looked at John and I was like, "Oh my gosh, it's like 3 blocks from our hotel,
Yeah.
and you don't even know
have no
like
idea.
the area you're in until
we could have walked to our from there
to
from our hotel right there anytime.
Yeah, crazy.
And we'll be back. Obviously, we go. We probably, where the giant tombs.
Oh yeah,
Where were they? I wonder
That
where they
was
were.
on the.
That's
that
a
was in the.
Mitzvah day, I think.
It was.
It was
I
the
didn't have
Mitzvah.
a specific spot that
Yeah.
it.
So I think
We also didn't mention that we went
Yeah,
our
it was-
hotel.
I think the giant tombs happened right after Mitzvah.
I think so, too.
Before Caesarea Philippi.
I think
did.
you're
And
right.
so if you're taking notes from the tour, that's what's going on. Next year, we'll have about 5 or 6 different places thrown in there.
yeah, I've never done the exact same tour ever.
We'll always go
ever.
to Mount of Beatitudes. We'll always go
Yeah, there's
to,
some staples that shows it.
to Peter's primacy, miracle of the loaves and fish. Jesus appeared to Peter after
Jordan
the
River,
resurrection. We've
yeah.
always gone to that. We've always gone on the Galilee boat. We'll always baptize you in the Jordan River. We'll always go to the Syrian border. So we'll have different.
We didn't get to go to the Syrian border the
Yeah, we
first
did.
time. No, I'm saying the
Okay.
one we
Last-
went without
last
you
year.
because it was closed down.
We looked at the border.
We couldn't go to where we went. We weren't allowed to go that far up north because of the war. When
But we went to that village up
Yeah.
near Mount Hermon, and we went to the is it the 73 war memorial?
we did go there.
It was.
But that's it.
It
Golan
was.
Heights.
Yeah.
It was enough for me to just look at Mount Hermon from a distance.
Yeah, Mount
Because
Hermon
when
is.
you're on Mitzvah
Yeah.
and you're looking across and you're looking at this mountain that's like
wild.
4 times the size of the mountain you're on,
Right.
and you're thinking that's where the angels met and made a pact to start raping women.
Yeah.
In essence, that's where the Nephilim came from.
Or lure the women.
Which
He's both.
I mean, I'm
mean,
sure
it's
some of
both.
those women probably just fainted when the angel
Well, then-
came down. I was like, yes.
and
Both.
that's the reason. That's the reason the flood ever happened was
Yeah.
just because of what happened there.
You're right.
Right.
You're right.
Crazy.
So think about it. February 2027. Don't write in and say when. We'll tell you when. We don't have the dates yet. Guys got to get us the dates.
Bet you
And
Andy's going to ask when.
I'm shooting for late.
Andy, I will ignore you. If you text me, email me, call me.
That's not very nice.
About the dates.
The guy that's in charge of your
Presidente?
whole.
But if he's going to
Isn't
email
it
me
the
about the
president of your
dates,
fan club?
yes, if he's going to email me about the dates, I am going to ignore him.
I wonder if Andy thinks you're getting a little uppity. But anyway, so
Uppity? How is that uppity?
well, I
have the
I
right to
would never
ignore
tell-
anybody I want to.
I would never tell.
The
my-
Johnny 3.
My
The Scrawny Three,
my
that-
treasurer was on the trip.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
We had a
You
good
did.
good cabinet meeting without the rest of the cabinet.
About the rest of the
Well, the rest of them are secret, so they just vote in.
No, that's not
They're
true.
not.
You
They're
got a
not
whole
secrets.
family.
Yeah,
No,
it's
they're not. I did.
It's
We
the
did.
Dorland Spiros.
I did have a lot of people who said, "No, it doesn't."
Say
matter."
it. Say it.
That they're not afraid, but they're kind of afraid to say whose fan club they're on.
Yeah.
Even though they know it's a joke and they think it's funny.
Yeah.
I thought it was kind of funny,
Wait.
but they're like, "You're really our favorite." And I was like, "Thank you."
I heard that too. That Linnea is the favorite.
Well,
It's hard to be. It's the favor of God.
I heard from two people that they were just telling her that.
Yeah.
So,
Well.
Please.
anyways, so
That is
so
lies, and nobody believes it. You know who you are.
we'd like to talk to you,
He doesn't.
and you know I know who you are. So we'd like
I'm
to
the
talk
president of Jeremiah's fan club.
Actually, there were two ladies on the trip.
Yeah.
They're like, we are
like
Jeremiah.
Jeremiah.
What's not to like about Jerry?
That's right.
What a
Look at those
gentle
locks.
soul.
to you. No, it's the hair.
He'd never yell at me.
It's the hair.
It is the hair.
No.
All right.
So we'd like to talk to you about Iran today. All right. You guys should be familiar with the Iranian Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps. The Iranian
The IRGC.
Revolutionary Guard Corps. Okay? Iranian Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, the IRGC. Iran has two types of armed forces. They have their traditional military, and it's all their aircraft, artillery, tanks, ground troops, and you have the IRGC. We just call them the Republican Guard. Okay?
I agree.
Which stands for the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps. Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps was installed just to protect those non-Persian mullahs that are ruling the country. It's hard not to hate them. I'm being honest. These
But
dudes
they
aren't
really
even Persian.
burn your biscuits.
Wow, we need to make sure we get this man 2 espresso shots before every podcast. Wow, this is the prayers we've been asking God for.
What are you talking about?
You're just a lot more livelier, a little more
Interactive.
interactive.
I know. And I've been in a bad mood
Jolly.
since I got back. I think because I was doing 6 or 7 shots of espresso
it does.
over
It
there
depresses you when you go
it'll
down.
mess
every
you up.
day.
Yeah.
And then I stopped. Right?
Yeah.
And I'm just going with 2 cups of coffee in the morning.
It's a hard fall.
That's boring,
It's
Jim.
a hard
2
fall
cups
from
of coffee.
So I did a double shot of espresso right before. So that's maybe why I'm happy. I don't know. I'd like to say it's the joy of the Lord, but
You could be.
yes,
Let's go with
We'll
it.
take anything.
at this point we will.
The joy of the Lord and espresso.
Speaking of just really funny, if you guys were at service on Saturday night, wasn't it funny when Pastor Mac, there was no offering special?
Yeah.
And he's so used to an offering
Yeah,
special.
he's like-
and then he sings Joshua about the
Battle of
Jericho. That was kind of funny.
So that kind of annoyed me.
Well, it's your
Because that's the
dad.
only song he sings.
I
Well,
know, it is,
And
but
it
it's
is the
funny.
dumbest song to me.
But it's
But
funny.
Joshua
like,
fought the Battle
you
of
guys,
Jericho.
I was like,
And the walls
okay,
came
that is
tumbling
funny,
down.
Pastor Mac.
I mean, that is Sunday School 101.
It is.
That's
And we
good,
did have a
aside from
podcaster who
Jesus loves
sent in
me.
a joke that was really funny that I did forward to Pastor Mac. So I just want you to know that I did send your hilarious joke
Awesome.
to Pastor Mac.
Well,
Was
did
it
you tell
Jimmy?
him it was a podcaster?
Yeah, I did.
Was it
Okay.
Jimmy?
No.
Oh, you know, when I came in Saturday night, guess who was at the door opening the door?
Jimmy?
Jimmy.
Jimmy.
It was so cool seeing him.
You know, it was a rough start with Jimmy,
It was a very rough start with
but
Jimmy.
it was a glorious
Ending.
glorious
Jimmy
trip with
is a
Jimmy.
gem.
Yep,
We had a lot of gems on the trip, a lot.
absolutely.
Thomas Harold. Love that man. Showed up in bow ties for dinner, you guys.
I know he really brought us up
He
class
did.
wise.
He did. He was just a
Especially the
class.
staff. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. we needed some
Bro,
class
what are you talking about?
Well, hey,
I'm
my hair
sorry
was
you
like
showed
this.
up in
This
sweatpants
was my
every
hair.
day.
This was my hair.
It was
Oh,
beautiful.
I thought you were talking about
It's glorious.
the outfits.
So the Republican Guard was installed just to protect those Persian mullahs. Those guys, you know, like the Ayatollah Khomeini, he's dead now.
Are they
but
Persian mullahs
These
or
are
are
not.
they?
No, the non-Persian
Yeah,
mullahs.
non-polar. Yeah.
And they're ruling the Persian people. The Iranians are Persians. The mullahs aren't. And they're running the country. Remember, they took over with Ayatollah Khomeini. Remember the
Yeah.
U.S. hostages and all that?
Yep.
So the Republican Guard, one of their jobs is to protect that regime, right? It controls their missile defenses. And those were the people that killed upwards of 50,000 Iranian civilians in the last uprising. We believe it was 50,000. And they were also for knocking out the internet. That was the Republican Guard, any type of cyber operation.
Yeah.
They knocked out Starlink during the Iranian revolt. The Republican Guard has its own intelligence services, and this is what we want to focus on. There is a wing of the IRGC called the Quds Force, QUDS. We know that in 2020, the U.S. took out the head of the QUDS force. I don't know.
Yeah, the Quds.
Yes.
Yep.
They also have another unit within the Republican Guard called the Unit 840. This is what is embedded in the United States right now. Okay? And they are not just involved in military operations, but in a lot of intelligence. If you take 840, these aren't their real names, but this guy named Mohammed Razix Shalahi, he is the founder of Unit 840, and he was a Republican Guard covert action officer. Unit 840 out of the Republican Guard operates undercover, and this guy passed his role down to his son, Mohammed Jafar Shalahi, who is currently working out of Yemen under a different passport, different name, right? And we know Iran finances the terrorist organization, the Houthis, who operate out of Yemen. Mm-hmm. All right?
Yeah.
Even though they've been severely crippled.
Well, they're one of those proxies.
Yes.
Yeah.
Proxy of the Iranian government.
Yeah.
We know this is why Trump is so much he's got the finger on Iran. All right? What I'm trying to tell you today, all right, it's a lot more than just the Houthis and the Hezbollah over there and Hamas. You know, they financed Hamas, even though that's not one of their proxies. They financed Hamas. We know Iran has its terrorist groups, has its proxy armies. If they go into Syria, which they recruit local Syrians to run their operations on the ground. All right? Mm-hmm. It's not necessarily an Iranian commander that's calling the shots. It's a Syrian commander that they've recruited who's taking all the risk.
Wow.
18 months ago, the Israelis found a huge weapon storage area in Syria. Part of it belonged to Unit 840. And so in Lebanon, where it's estimated they had almost 100,000 Hezbollah troops until October 7th. And they have their own commanders. The Republican Guard oversees the Hezbollah troops in southern Lebanon. Now, there's still troops there. But after October 7th, Israel attacked.
Yeah.
Because they had an excuse.
Yep.
And they got a lot of them. They got a lot of them, and they got a lot of their missiles.
Yeah.
So this dude over there running covert operations, his name was Hussein Mahmoud al-Jahari. You know, the Israelis were able to kill this guy. But he was extremely hard to kill. He was in southern Lebanon.
Yeah.
Okay? But you know what? They just had another guy step right up and replaced him. This other dude kept running these operations. What were they doing? They were so effective. They were shooting anti-tank missiles from southern Lebanon into northern Israel. Huh. Okay?
The reason they're important, the anti-tank missiles, they don't go high enough to trigger the dome. You can't
shoot an anti-tank missile down.
Yeah.
And so it's highly effective. Right, and you can shoot it a long way.
Yeah, miles and miles and miles.
Yeah, I mean, and so that's what they were doing forever over there. And so talking about this group, we do know this. The only thing we know about them is how they've been caught.
Yeah.
They were operating in Germany. They wanted to kill a German rapper. He was Iranian, Persian, by the name of Shaheen Nagafi. So they're operating on the soil of another country. They're in Germany. They're going to kill this rapper. They were able to use radicalized locals.
Yeah.
And they focused on them for a long time. And they were not able to kill him. The particular hit they were planning on this rapper was stopped by the German intelligence services. But, you know, it's just proof they're operating all over the world.
It's crazy.
In some countries, Unit 840, which is an attachment, like I said, to the Iranian Republican Guard, they go to one of their proxies, one of them being Hezbollah, Houthis. Hamas is not technically one of their proxies, but they have given a lot of funds to Hamas. And they said assign one of your top guys to lead such and such operation for 840 in such and such country, right?
Yeah.
And so what it does is there's always a buffer.
yeah.
You
Yeah.
can't
Right.
get to them.
Yeah. It's a shell game.
And a
'cause
lot of that guy that's hired doesn't
Yeah.
even know,
he doesn't know
necessarily
the
who
full
hired.
structure.
Yes,
Yeah.
and we have proof that everywhere from Thailand to India, that
That's
we know
crazy.
for sure, that Unit 840 of the Iranian Republican Guard was targeting Israelis and Americans and Israeli interest and American interest in these locations.
The Cuds, they're the definition of like what they stand for is like the Jerusalem Force is what they're tagged as.
Interesting.
Isn't that? So that is what they're targeting.
And they have merged with many criminal organizations around the world. This is what really complicates things.
Yeah.
Including the U.S. and these criminal organizations, where they be the gangs in the U.S., they use those members of the gangs for like surveillance.
Right.
They use them to move weapons. Trende Aragua, ever heard of them?
Yeah.
Yes, they're remember they were in all over the United States.
Right.
Still are.
Still are.
And if they get caught doing it, well, you don't have an Iranian. All right. You
Right.
see what I'm saying? They
There's
do
no
this.
direct link.
They're even doing this with the criminal elements in Turkey.
But they have like
Right.
fake passports, fake names. So even if you caught one of them, you wouldn't know who they really are because
Right.
they all are under, like John said, shell game.
So you may have seen in 2025, there were 4 Iranians detained in London. It had been discovered since that time they were working for Unit 840 of the Republican Guard. They were going to attack the Israeli embassy in London. They used real Iranian operatives for this one who were of Persian descent. Why? Because I guarantee you there's a lot of Muslims over there. And
Yeah.
Britain's overrun with
Yes.
Muslims.
Yeah.
Completely overrun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
More so than Minneapolis. And
Katie Hobbs was talking to Glenn Beck yesterday.
Yeah.
And she was talking about how crazy Britain is just totally screwed.
Yeah, they are.
Like, she and some other people are saying that they need a crusade, more or less, to free Britain from this Muslim stranglehold. And it's getting wild.
they,
Interesting.
so in this case in Britain, they were using real Iranian operatives. So I'm trying to say is they'll use their own operatives or they'll use criminal gang operatives. And so their big thing is they like to do is like targeted assassinations.
Yeah.
And a lot of times you see them silencing or they like to silence the free Iranians
Yeah.
around the world that
Right.
have money, right?
But do you guys remember when there was that clip? I feel like it was when Biden was president and they were letting everyone come over the border and they found that
Oh, yeah.
Iranian military officer.
Yep.
And they were talking to him and they said, "What are you doing here?" And he said, "You'll know soon. This is in the United
You're
States."
Right. Yeah,
Like-
you even talked about that guy
We
at
showed it in-
church.
we showed
Yes,
it in
we
the main
did.
said you-
sanctuary.
Yes, we did.
You may not know my name now, but you should,
will.
because
Yeah.
you will.
You'll
This
know
is who we're
soon.
talking about.
This is why
today.
we're talking about it because you
This
have
is
to
why.
be.
Okay.
Yep.
So they like to
Alert.
recruit locals to lead the local arm of their organization. So if they're trying to hit an institution, many times they'll try to get insiders from that institution.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
And so they can have all the information on that institution they need to hit it. Usually these operations, they have middlemen. And then you have the guys who are going to carry out the operation. And a lot of times the Trende Aragua gang member or other gangs doesn't even know that the Iranians are behind it.
Yeah.
They're
Right.
and they're behind the hit that Trende Aragua
execute
carries out.
Yeah.
I guarantee you, there's been many murders in this country by Trende Aragua. All right, that where it was purchased by the Iranians.
Crazy.
By the Iranians. The person who planned the operation doesn't know the guy often that makes the hit.
Yeah.
And so you can't take down the whole operation and everyone in the operation by just nailing one person.
Yeah.
They are in the U.S. banking systems with false identities to the point where they can purchase properties over here.
So wild.
They have
And remember, Trump stopped that. He just did a
Yep.
executive order
Yep.
where he's not allowing out any foreign anything
Yeah.
to purchase property in the United States.
This is
that
why-
had to be an executive order. That is crazy.
this is why Trump has got the thumb on Iran.
Yeah.
And they are in the banking systems with false identities. They have plenty of fake companies most of the time for surveillance outside of Iran.
Yeah.
And they recruit local criminals in most cases to get their surveillance done. The Republican Guard Unit 840 combined with the Taliban. Taliban has an intelligence. We'll just call it the Taliban CIA.
Didn't we remember when we pulled out of Afghanistan, didn't we leave a bunch of, like, how many millions? Remember when we talked about the $86 billion dollars in Afghanistan?
Yeah, we made the
Taliban
the 26th biggest military in the world. Did you know that?
Not to mention we still send money over there all the time.
Do we?
Yeah, I just heard it.
Don't you think Trump would stop sending the Taliban?
You would think that.
No, you would think that. It's not happening. And this lady that I listened to said that a lot of people that they say killed, or that they've said they've killed in the past under other administrations, when they went and looked up those people were still alive, so they lied. Obviously, they're going to lie to the government and say, we took that person out, and you didn't. You just put that person in hiding.
Yeah.
So, like, you don't trust them. But, we're still sending money there.
You mean we think we killed their bad guy, and they go hide him. And that's genius.
Yes.
Isn't that
Because they're saying, we took the person out. Like, we blew up the cave he was in.
Yeah.
Did you? No.
They're taking the cash and still
if you don't watch, if you're interested in any of this stuff, this lady, her name is Sarah Abrams.
Yeah.
She used to be she did Sean Ryan podcast a lot, but she has her own show called The Watch Floor. And she blows this thing up all the time.
This is a short rundown from her.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yes, because she's
Put the link on.
Yeah, sure.
Put her link on.
I'll put her podcast link on. If you care about any of this stuff.
I'm giving you a fast version of what she's going to give you. But this woman has special connections.
Yeah.
And she's someone that you should stay in tune with.
Yeah.
Let me give you an example of how the Republican Guard Unit 840 combined with the Taliban's intelligence, the equivalent of the Taliban CIA.
Yeah.
They wanted to kill this dude by the name of General Akramuddin Sari. He's an American ally, one of the Afghans that fought in Afghanistan. He fought against the Taliban. He was in the Afghan army, the American-trained Afghan army, and he had the rank of general. And he was still fighting against the Taliban. They took a former Afghan army officer. They say, reach out to the general, and they're going to try to kill and tell him you want to be. They're going to try to get this guy to say, I want to be part of your resistance band, right? And so this guy goes in, ex-Afghan army, gets close to the general, learns everything about him. All they had to do to kill him was get him to step outside his house to take a call, and the former member of the Afghan military blew him away. And so that's an operation they were successful in. The whole scene looked like he was killed by random violence. This 840 group out of Iran are close partners with the Taliban. They're the Taliban's equivalent. Their intelligence, the Taliban's intelligence. They're with the Houthis, they're with Hezbollah, and we just took you everywhere you have been. You have these guys. Where have these guys been? Lebanon, Syria, Germany, UK, Afghanistan. And yes, they are in the United States. The only reason we know about them is because these activities have been stopped or disrupted, but this organization is in the U.S. I've only heard about this one time, but it's something you have to pay attention to. Yeah. It's something we have to pray about. And I'm talking to the lady that sees shadows. Right there, right?
I wrote in, yeah.
Okay, this is a form of the prayer that we're trying to get you to do, right? Because we're gonna before we go into the news, you're gonna agree with me. Our listeners and viewers are gonna agree with me in the name of Jesus, Father. We bind the principalities, the spirit or spirits behind 840, and in our country, all right, in our state. These cells, whatever plans they have behind any type of October 7th style attack, whether it be on churches, neighborhoods, in supermarkets, hospitals, any type of attack in the name of Jesus Christ, we are loosing those fallen angels, those demons, those agents of Satan and Satan himself from these attacks. From these Republican Guard units and any other units assigned to the United States of America. Now,
I'm hearing the word backfire.
in the name of Jesus Christ, we loose you from your assignments. The person seeing the shadows, you're binding the spirits behind those shadows, causing you to see those shadows. You are loosing them. You're telling them to go. These prayers build up. You need to do this every day. Go ahead,
Can
Linnea.
I say something about that? Because I used to see dark things, and James Tan told me, he's like, the devil is trying to take what God is trying to give you, like it's a gift, right? He's like, you got to go above the darkness and look for the light and look at what God's trying to show you, because the devil's, perverting that.
Yeah.
He's perverting
Yeah.
that gift.
Yep.
And it takes time. You have to retrain your brain, and you have to do things, and you have to stand against and do confessions. But James Tan told me that
you have to take your authority.
Yes,
Yeah.
that-
At first, and James Tan said that, and I the first time Linnea went to Indonesia, she saw panthers
crawling all over
down
the
the wall.
walls.
She had discerning of spirits.
You could hear me.
And that's what that is, but the devil is scaring you with that, and you have to take authority, like I just did. Rewind it, and you go at those spirits that are behind what is causing you to see these shadows.
That sensitivity to the spirit realm is really powerful.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, it's a powerful thing. You're supposed to walk in the discerning of spirits, and the devil's perverting it.
I was just
that's to the lady that just emailed in.
Yeah.
Okay, and we check your email because we emailed you back.
I was just going to add to Linnea's news. The CIA has just been sending messages in Farsi to Iranian people to if they want to submit information to the CIA from the civilians in Iran to the CIA for any sort of intelligence. They're providing different channels to do so on X right now.
What a timely
Right
message.
now.
Well, how do they do that if they don't have internet?
There's evidently I don't know.
Oh, they gave them the internet back. But
Starlink.
Starlink
No,
is-
they took
Elon
out
Musk?
Starlink.
But Elon Musk can.
They took it out of our. You have to get Starlink. You have to bring something into the country and set it up. I had this explained.
Yeah,
They
it's
have to be supplied with something to operate from. They can't just start up Starlink on their Iranian
Starlink.
phone.
Well, Starlink
no, I
is
understand that.
like a really small satellite dish, but it's like the size of a laptop.
Right.
Right.
And you set it up, and it has a certain
I tried
angle.
to
They
get
were
it.
tr- and they
didn't
tracked
want to
them
do it to
down.
my house.
Yeah.
The Republican Guard, when the Iranians were revolting, tracked them down. They tracked down
think I
every
just read
single
something.
one of them. And so they are trackable.
Yeah.
Right?
Right,
So,
of course. If you think that you're using a VPN or something that isn't trackable,
Sure. Yeah.
I mean, I tried to do all the things like you go to the
Well, I
airport and
do-
you don't let them scan your eyes, and then you're like, I know there's a camera right there.
I do
it's got
see on
me.
court TV all the time that they can't get into WhatsApp. They try and they don't know what
Really?
was said. I've seen it on court TV
Yeah, I believe you.
where these people
'cause
went back
it's
and forth on
Yeah.
WhatsApp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Back and forth, back and forth, back and
They're-
forth, back and forth, back and forth.
they're,
And they're like, well, what is, and they couldn't.
It's
they
a
couldn't.
secured. It's a
Yes,
secured
yes,
transmission.
yes. So,
There are
encrypted is what I'm
Yes.
trying to say.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm going to clarify. Her name is Sarah Adams on the Watchful,
Not
not Sarah
Abrams.
Abrams.
Yeah.
I was thinking of
Yeah.
a singer.
we
Anyway.
just gave you, this is what you should be praying about.
Yeah.
All right. You want more details? Check out her podcast. She will be on the link. She's amazing. I also want to put the prophecy from Brandon Biggs.
Oh yeah, that other lady sent that in.
Go to 37 minutes. Go to 37
talks about
minutes
living
into
word.
the prophecy. It talks about this guy is a guy that prophesied that President Trump would get his ear shot off months in advance.
Yeah.
He's gonna try
This
to be
guy's the real
assassinated.
deal. He's a real prophet. All right. And who's going to do that? Who's going to like, he'll be able to hang his hat on that one for years
Yes.
to come. And so his name is Brandon Biggs, and we've got the link. Go 37 minutes in. You listen to the whole thing. It's amazing. It's all about revival.
Yeah, he's
revival is coming to this country.
Yeah.
Revival is coming to
Minnesota.
Minnesota, and revival is coming to Living Word.
Yeah.
And we
Yep.
know that. And he's very specific. Go 37 minutes in if you don't want to listen to the whole thing. Otherwise, I suggest you listen to the whole Brandon
Yeah, I
Biggs
mean, the
video.
beginning was amazing.
Yeah, he is
but
amazing.
But speaking of the assassination, you guys, the kid the other day who got...
So will you put that link on?
Yeah, I'm going to.
All right.
Got shot at Mar-a-Lago and killed.
The trans kid?
Is anybody talking about this? I haven't heard anywhere about it.
I didn't hear anything aside from a couple of X posts.
They're
you're
talking.
not talking. Oh, they are?
Channel 11. They're not saying he was trans.
Oh, he's definitely.
They absolutely are not saying he was trans.
But I mean, he was. He did vote. They said he voted for Trump, right, in the last election, supposedly.
But
and he got like crazier and crazier about like Jeffrey Epstein files and all that. Which
well, the funny thing is he
Another
wasn't even
trans
there.
shooter. Wow.
Trump wasn't even at Mar-a-Lago.
No, he was in.
He was in D.C.
Yeah, when the kid showed up.
What a coincidence!
It was so sad.
Half
like
these
21.
shooters are trans, or their girlfriends are trans.
Or how about the crazy dad who shot his family at the hockey game, who was a man and then was a transgender woman?
Yep. That was so sad.
You got to pray for those people if you see them. Like I know we all how we feel. Speaking of the Lee Fink person, the senator in Minnesota or whatever he is, state representative, I have something to say about him. But you got to pray for these people because they're sick in the head.
Right.
Okay. They've got some demons that they're dealing with.
Delusion,
It's
and it
delusion.
is definitely oppression.
I just think there'll be services one day where those people are zip. Just
I hope so. I hope so. Because, okay, listen, I'll just skip to that part about state.
wait.
No, I'm not going to skip the news. I'm just skipping to this part since we're
Just
on
so
it.
we can.
So, State Representative Lee Fink, which he really ruins the name Lee. That's my middle name. Spelt the same way.
L-E-I-G-H?
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay, so this transgender Minnesota, this guy is opposing age verification for porn websites because he says they're educational for kids. This guy is saying that children at any age should be allowed
This
to
is
watch
your Democratic
porn.
Party. This is your Minnesota Communist Democratic Party saying that a 5-year-old should be able to watch hardcore porn.
And let me tell you, Dan Bongino just did a podcast about this 2 weeks ago. This program is called 764, and it targets children, and it exploits children to sexual whatever they want on any form. He's like, if you think your kid's just playing a video game, which John has something to say about that with Roadblocks.
Yeah.
If you're not monitoring your child, what they're watching, I know we've said this so many times, but don't ignore it. And also, 17% of students, I saw this stat yesterday, nationwide, that's more than 8 million children, have been victims of sexual abuse by public school employees. That is just public school employees. That's 8 million children, you guys. If you're not telling me they're not coming after your kids, then you're blind. You have to talk to your kids. You got to ask your kids questions. Like you have to. If your kid starts acting different, you have to ask them questions. And you can't get mad at them if they tell you something happened to them because it's not their fault.
Yeah.
But John,
well, yeah. So there was someone testifying, I believe it was to Congress from Meta, Facebook, and she said. There are definitely predators on Roblox. They are creating virtual strip clubs and do all sorts of things. Game. Yeah, from a kid's game. And she's like, we should not have Roblox on our network at all. But the people above her said, no, we're gonna let it slide.
And then you look at that and you're like, why?
Why
and then
are you
State Representative Lee Fink? Why are you fighting for kids to be able to watch porn? Remember
when you're a pervert.
Remember when we did the podcast about porn?
Yeah.
And it was tied in with the Nephilim, and we said demons show up in porn, right?
Yeah.
Look at Jeffrey Epstein and everything that happened with all that. Look at all those people resigning
it's one of those
because
gates,
of child
portals.
predation. Yes. Okay. Anyway. Not lighter news, but did you guys see that Somalian lady this weekend in Minnesota demanding reparations to compensate for ICE trauma?
They weren't even attacked yet.
No,
the ICE didn't even go into them yet.
Right.
No, they're not allowed to till March 19th or 20th. So they're coming up.
Yeah, wait till then.
But she's like, we want reparations for ICE trauma. We want government apology and accountability.
Yeah.
We want ICE banned from our neighborhoods and justice for the martyrs.
Well, you're not getting any of my money.
There was someone recently, they got found guilty of fraud, one of these Somali, and they were doing the sentencing, and the person who was sentenced, he said, or the judge said, to 30 years in prison and so much dollars. And the guy goes, can you just deport me instead? And the judge said,
my.
yeah, we're going to deport you after you serve 30 years in prison.
Yes, make them serve their time.
He said,
That's a shock. I'm surprised one of them's getting convicted.
yeah.
Right?
It was,
I shouldn't say, our money's still going to them.
right.
Are you
Yeah.
aware of that? Our money is still your money, your tax money.
Yeah.
Until
Until,
working for.
until
You're
it-
giving it to them.
oh, hi, bud.
You're giving it to them.
Remember when
You're
Jim
giving it
wanted to
the Leary
tie
Center.
Rolly up over there?
Boy, that would have been.
Okay, so this goes with the podcast we just did, okay? Muslims in Dearborn, Michigan. This is again, you guys, this is again. I sent this video
Yes.
to John last night.
Yep.
I'll put it in the... He is calling for Islamic revolution to crush American life. That is
Yeah.
literally the words he is saying in his rant on the streets. Like,
Yeah.
wasn't that demonic when you watched it?
Absolutely.
You
This
just
is why we're praying against an October
Yes.
7th.
And Mom
They're calling
Donnie,
for it.
Mom Donnie, the governor of New York, attended an
No,
Islamic.
the mayor of New York City.
Or sorry, mayor, attended an Islamic center where the imam, that's the person in charge of the Islamic center, appears to be praying for the killing of infidels. That's non-Muslim people. So he
That's us,
literally is praying for those people to be killed. That is us.
That is
This
us.
is what we're talking all this about.
Yeah,
That
not
is
just
why.
Jews.
No.
No.
Not just Jews.
No.
Right? Not just Jews for the Jew haters, right?
No.
Yeah.
It's
Did we-
you. They're coming for you. They're coming for the white lesbian that lives in South Minneapolis. You don't think they're going to come for
yes.
you? You don't think they're going to come for you and throw you off a building? Watch. And this
Yes,
is why
'cause they come in with
that's what they
tequila.
do to the homosexuals, okay?
Yeah.
They throw them off buildings. In case you didn't know
just
that. They're
slit
not
their
with
throat.
you. And somebody actually asked me the definition of woke lately.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what it is. If you're the person that believes a child at 5 or 6 or 7 years old should be able to have a sex change, you're woke.
I agree.
Okay? I think you're woke. I think you're woke if you believe you should have a sex change at all. Right? I think you're woke. I think you're woke if you believe in the pronouns, all the ridiculous pronouns. Okay? I think you're woke if you believe men should be in girls' sports. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. There's your definition of wokeism in every anti-Semite in
Yeah.
the country. There we go. There's 5. You
We
got anything?
actually did a whole
Yeah.
podcast on
Anything else on that?
wokeism, biblically wokeism. We
Yeah.
should
Yes.
we should
I
attach that.
So
here.
all that together.
How
that's
long have you
woke.
been waiting to
That's woke.
say that?
Taking away the American history, right?
Oh, woke.
Yeah.
Woke.
Yeah.
Right. And so, anyway, sorry, that was a rant. Go ahead, Linnea. But
okay.
here's Linnea with
Jim's
the-
been waiting to talk about that one.
To tack on to that,
Yeah, tack.
here in this last weekend, they are shutting Times Square down to do the call to prayer, the
Oh, yeah,
Islamic
that's right.
call to
That is
prayer.
right.
So they shut down everything in Times Square, did the call of prayer, had people just laying down and
Disgusting.
prostrating whatever.
What if you
That-
ran,
that
what
is
if you
why
ran
that
through there
brings-
with a blowhorn? Think you'd be
That is-
arrested?
yes, you would.
Think you'd be
Absolutely.
arrested?
Absolutely.
Nobody's protesting that, are they?
Did
No.
you
No, no.
add?
I'd love to. Wouldn't that be fun to show up with like 600 people and just march through
Yeah,
protest?
of course.
Did you
Our right to protest.
Yeah. Did you add Mamdani's police brigade, basically, that it's just Islamic people going to enforce more or less Sharia?
No, but and I have something about Sharia,
Okay.
but in Minnesota that happened.
Yeah.
The what did you just say?
Police, or are you
Yeah.
talking about?
The police force, right?
Yeah.
We have that here in Minnesota too. And the guy said, whoever this guy was, we tagged it on a couple podcasts ago. He said, we adhere to the laws of Sharia, not the laws of Minnesota.
Right.
That's what this guy said.
Yep.
And let me tell you one other thing. You guys have, I don't know if you've heard about this, but in Minnesota, they killed the Somalian police officers.
Oh, yeah.
They killed that
Yep.
lady, a
It was
white
like
lady.
4
who,
years ago or so.
Was it 4 years ago?
Yeah.
Who called in. She was calling about a concern.
Yep.
They showed up at her apartment. I don't know why they ended up killing her. They ended up killing her. You don't hear anything about that?
No.
Not one word
he
about
gets
that.
out of the
Pushed under.
car and shoots her.
For no reason.
She called them. She's
Yes.
the one who called them.
The police.
And the police, that guy just pulls up and blows her away.
But hey, you guys.
We're giving our country away to the Muslims.
No, we're not, because we have 33
That's what you're
members from 18 states, and they're proposing legislation to ban Sharia-based institutions
Yep.
and laws,
That's
and they call
18.
it the Sharia-Free America Caucus.
18 out of how
18
many states?
50. Yeah. So guess what? Guess what the number one state of mosques is right now?
Texas.
Yes, you guys.
Yeah.
Texas. And they are planning a 400-acre project.
The-
It's a deliberate blueprint for a separate Sharia governed community. Isn't
Yeah.
that just wild? So this is what we're praying
They've
against.
been fighting about that for about a year and a half. Linnea's getting attacked in her headphones by a golden retriever.
This is why he was tied up.
But that just hurt my heart.
When he was tied up.
Yeah, it did. It made me sad.
I tied him up over there on his leash, and I thought Linnea was going to leave.
Your dog woke is what you are.
I know. I have a hard time.
Because I didn't want this.
You guys, this is me with my kids. Like, don't spank them. They didn't do anything not that bad. I did spank my kids sometimes.
Or you would go in the room and act like you did.
I did. I would go in the room and Wrigley cry really loud, and I'm going to spank the bed. And he would, of course, that kid could really act up. I'm like, that's a little too much. Your dad's going to know.
My dad would have done that work himself. Hate to tell you.
What? Spanked you?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, so CNN is debuting a special project examining the growing influence of Christian nationalism in America.
Yeah.
You guys, they included a professor who describes Charlie Kirk's memorial service as a place where a lot of Christians were activated by these ideas of radicalization in their faith. That's what? Right. So they're opposed to people going to church, reading their Bibles, reconciling relationships with family members after Charlie Kirk's death, and they call it toxic radicalization issue.
Did I tell you persecution was coming?
Yes, we did a podcast.
I think we told you that.
Yeah.
Yep. I don't think it was even very long ago.
It was not.
And wow, it was so CNN based, wasn't it? I mean, everything I've seen has been
and the CNN, Pamela Brown, she's investigating. She's talking to this husband and wife, and the wife used to be in the military. And she was shocked that this lady's like, the Bible tells me to submit to my husband. And she's like, I'm sorry, what?
Yeah.
What? And you have children and you want to stay home with your kids and raise them?
Yeah.
Why? What?
And she's like,
what
my
better
husband,
honor is it to be than to be a mom?
She's like, my husband goes to work and he trusts me to run the house, to take care of everything.
But that's shocking to you?
I know.
And actually, Vladimir Putin, said the murder of Charlie Kirk was a disgusting atrocity. He died because he was defending his values. Yeah. That is the truth.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I wonder, I think it's interesting over there how Hungary is throwing a wrench in the European.
Oh, yeah.
Because Hungary can't stand, they can't stand the Ukraine.
Yeah.
And they're demanding that an oil pipeline from Russia be opened back up that went through the Ukraine, or they are not signing off on the EU putting not tariffs, but what's the word?
Taxes?
An embargo,
or,
not an embargo.
An embargo.
No, not an embargo. When they to punish a country, like when they punished Iran or they punish
I think
Russia.
embargo's the right.
No, there's a word for it.
You guys can Google it.
Oh, that's annoying. It's a common word. It's but it's crazy what's going on because in the EU, because Hungary is refusing to help out the Ukraine.
Yeah.
By the EU wants to put.
Hungary's not taking Muslim refugees either. They said we are a Christian nation and we're not going to participate in that. They're keeping their strength.
But they're on Russia's side, and they're not.
Well,
on
Russia's
Ukraine's side. I think that's interesting.
Russia's got a muddled messaging because they are clearly working with the Iranians who are clearly pushing radical Islam.
I'm just trying to figure that out over there. Why Hungary's stopping, the EU slapping down penalties on Russia. In other words, they don't buy Russia goods.
Sure.
They don't sell. They don't give anything to Russia. It's
well, and that was
there's
part
a name
of,
for it. It's a common name, right?
That was that was partly because of Trump saying, "Hey, why are you buying Russian oil and then trying to fight Russia? Like, how does that work?"
Right. So, sorry to.
No, that's
put
good.
That
that's
splash
good.
in the middle. I just think that's interesting. It seems like I was listening to the Hungarian guy, and it seemed like he really disliked the Ukraine. Like he's not with them at all, right? And so
prohibition.
No, it's
injunction.
No, it's
sanction.
Sanctions. Sanctions.
Way to go, John.
The EU was going to
synonyms.
The EU is going to sanction Russia, which should have been done a long time ago, right? And frankly, I don't understand why Trump hasn't done it either. Okay?
Right.
But Hungary's holding up the sanctions by saying we we want oil from Russia, and you destroyed the pipeline that goes through your country, Ukraine. So you put that pipeline back together, or we're not going to vote for the sanctions. And I just think there's something weird there with the Ukraine.
Right.
Ukraine, it lost his top 2 guys, right?
Yeah.
Because of fraud.
Right.
His top guys under him. That'd be like, what would that be like? That would be like J.D.
Vance and Mike Johnson.
And Mike Johnson going down because of fraud. That's what happened to Zelensky over there. There's just something not right. Remember we're showing you millions of dollars, American dollars,
right?
Like all the scamming with the Bidens.
We've talked about that.
Yes,
yes.
So I don't know.
Speaking of the Bidens,
I mean, I think it's difficult because the EU is making life difficult for Hungary because their source of oil was from Russia. I'm not saying they should take anything from Russia or not. I'm just saying the EU is making life difficult for the people that are bordering Russia to still be able to provide for their people.
Yes, and
so it's a tough situation. I think. I don't know.
I don't know. I just don't know how much longer Trump. I bet Trump starts to leave it. I bet by June he says, "We're done."
Yeah.
Good luck.
I wouldn't be. I wouldn't be surprised at all.
And then he says, "European Union, you take care of them."
Yeah.
Honestly, I bet he does.
Well, why wouldn't we?
Right. Go ahead. Here's Linnea with the news.
We've been in the news for a while. Okay, so John sent me this, and I've seen it a few more times, but Canada is going to begin euthanizing newborn babies from poor families. So now Canadian physicians
This is why Canada sucks.
would be able to legally euthanize infants born into poor families or suffering from underlying health conditions. They don't even have to get I saw that they didn't have to get the parents' permission for this. They can just kill the baby. That's killing the baby.
They have
without any
a low
having
credit score or not enough money or whatever.
You can take the baby out. Is that awful?
They with this MAID program, MAID, the assisted suicide, or basically instead of helping people that are having problem, whether depression or whatever else, or this killing of newborn babies, it is a demonic. I know. You know what? I didn't even really think it was a thing till I read this book called Me Before You, and I was like, it's a great book.
Yeah, it was. I forgot about that book.
It's a flippin' great book. If you haven't read it,
jerker.
It does. It makes
it's one of those books you just know.
It never leaves you. It never leaves you.
And it does end bad.
More like Jesus.
It does end bad.
It never leaves you.
And it actually made me cry.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, I got a lot of people here to read that book.
You know what made me cry this weekend?
The Olympics.
Watching the men's hockey team bring their fallen.
The Goodrow babies.
Yep.
Noah and
Goodrow's.
Johnny Jr. Johnny Hockey.
Yep.
What a sad story that is. I've been following that since
I
it
was
happened.
sitting there watching it with my wife in the living room, and I was just like.
But isn't it great though that those kids, those guys are so involved in their lives because you don't just a kid that age too.
Yeah.
And
for those of you that don't know what's going on,
Johnny Goodrow,
one of the great players of the U.S. hockey team was killed.
Yeah, in 2024, August by an alleged. We can't say he's a drunk driver because he's not convicted yet, so we don't want to get sued for that.
Is that what happened?
So an alleged drunk driver killed Johnny Goodrow and his brother Maddie, and they were both pregnant.
On the night of
night before their sister's wedding. They went on a bike ride, and this guy thought he would pass them. He had too many beers and was over the alcohol level and killed these two guys. So the USA hockey team has been representing Johnny because Maddie was in the juniors. He was part of the USA team.
Yep.
And they have his jersey, and all these guys still honor them. The NHL is amazing to this family. They didn't take away his salary when he died. They paid the wife out for the remainder of the salary because he played on the Blue Devils. Blue Devils, I think.
New Jersey.
Yeah. Jersey. Well, he was there, and then he was also in Calgary.
Calgary.
Yeah, the Flames.
Yes. For a long time. But anyway, they brought the wife and the parents showed up at the hockey game, the U.S.
with the boys and the daughter too. The daughter.
And brought them out, and it did. It made you cry.
Yeah. Oh, man.
But anyway, the Olympics, they all just make me cry because you're like, these people, they work so hard.
Yeah.
And they get up there and you feel invested in their story and invested in them. And the ones who like absolutely love America, who like, and I don't know, honor the moment, it does make you cry.
Well,
I'm not a big crier.
The people that were born in America that played for China actually made millions of dollars from China.
Eileen Gu.
Are you aware of that?
Yes, she's made $27 million last year alone.
The American figure skater that won the gold medal.
Alyssa Liu, love her.
Her dad escaped communism in China.
Yeah.
They wanted him to bring him. But they're trying to say that she's pretty woke too. But she checked that at the doors.
Of course.
She checked her wokeness at the doors, and she was positive, and she draped herself in the American flag, and she was so thankful and represented very, very, very well.
Represent them, and the dad was like, "Heck no, I left you. You guys are crazy."
Yeah, and they had spies on. Trying to infiltrate their family for years.
Amazing. The guy's a single dad. He got
this is the woman that won gold for the skaters.
Yeah. The girl with like striped hair.
Right. I can't stand watching the skaters. Go ahead.
Okay. You guys, we'll end on this. In Germany, you can actually be fined for running out of gas because they call it avoidable stupidity is considered a punishable offense.
Same in the U.S.
You can get fined for running out of gas.
If you run out of gas on the highway,
yes.
I've never run out of gas on the highway.
Yeah, neither have I.
If it gets left for too long,
help people go get gas.
You can also get a ticket.
If you get left for too long,
stupidity here in the United
they'll tow your
States.
car, and you're going to have to pay the ticket or the fine for towing, and that's hundreds of dollars.
It is. I'm sorry. I'm going to end on this note. Talk about avoidable stupidity. Did anybody see Gavin Newsom at that conference with the majority of black people?
His mouth.
You guys, I need to quote him exactly what he said because he is ridiculous. Gavin Newsom, he comments to a black crowd in Georgia. He said, "I'm like you. I'm a 960 SAT guy, and I can't read."
I can't read it.
And
he's like calling everybody in the state in the place stupid, and that black people are not intelligent.
What did they do? Clap for him?
And Nicki Minaj tweeted, and she's like, "He talks slower. Does he think that we're dumb because we're a different color?"
Clearly he
this
does.
is the guy who wants to run for the United States of America, and he's calling black people stupid.
Yeah.
If you look up to Gavin Newsom and you're a black person, you need to watch that speech. That is ridiculous. Anyways, that is
if I said
stupid.
that,
if I said that, I'd be
thrown out of the church.
Low
Who would
expectations.
say that?
That's what I'm
That is
saying,
ridiculous.
But can you believe it?
It's so
I'm
stupid.
sure he gets. You know what? He gets to say that because he's a lefty.
Yeah.
And he tries to act like he grew up in a poor neighborhood. Okay, you know Getty Images, Getty?
Yeah.
Getty Images. They basically own the rights to everything.
Right.
They're a billionaire family. He was raised with that family.
Yes.
He's like their adopted kid. Yeah. They paid for his wedding. They pay for everything the man does. Right. So for him to sit there and act like he grew up on macaroni and cheese.
The streets?
Please.
Like he's from the streets? How annoying.
Gavin Newsom.
We'll end it with a great thought about him.
Trumper, huh?
He's not my leader.
I don't love everything
pray
about Trumper. I don't love everything about Trump. I've had this conversation with a lot of people lately. I like what Donald Trump is doing, but just his like bullying, his little digs, and like calling people names. I just
he gets over.
Let's be more mature.
He goes overboard a little bit, but. Look at Gavin Newsom. I'm not, he's a California governor. I'm not praying for Gavin Newsom.
One thing I want to say about Trump that I love that he keeps doing is he keeps honoring the angel families. If you don't know what the angel families are, they're families. They're the families of their victims that were murdered by illegal or killed by illegal aliens. And he keeps bringing these people on. He's like, this is why we're going after the illegal aliens in the United States, because they're killing people, they're raping people, they're murdering people, they're hurting our citizens.
Regardless of what your local news tells you.
Yeah.
Just 2 years ago, a girl was gang raped by 11 illegal
in Minnesota.
Up in Bemidji.
Yes.
And you never heard a word about it.
Not a word.
From Channel 11 that cares.
Yeah.
Care 11? They care so much. Right? So those... Okay, anyways. All right.
Too much espresso.
Yes.
Thank you for tuning in to the Final Hour podcast.
We went backwards in subscribers.
Oh no.
We didn't.
We went back 40 subscribers. We used to have 760 something.
Jerry, check that number.
760. We did. We went backwards. So
because
you need to subscribe. Somebody found out that we're not anti-Semites and they took us off. Or somebody became an anti-Semite, right? One of the 25.
This is a Jerry Seinfeld episode.
One of the few 25 and unders. One of the few 25 and unders that listen to our podcast found out that we are for the Jews.
We like Israel.
We love the Jews. We
love
support
the Jews.
And they unfollowed us, right? That's what happened. So please, no matter what you're on, YouTube, Spotify, Rumble, Facebook, right? Please subscribe. Please subscribe. Anything that I didn't mention, Apple Podcasts, please subscribe. Help us out, all right? Thank you for tuning into this Final Hour podcast. God bless you.